Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our first edition of the Women in Tech Zambia info session. For those of you that may be wondering whether this program is the same as the Standard Chartered Women in Tech program, it is. The only difference is that we've rebranded and we have exciting activities in line with our new program name. So super excited to see that we have quite a number of people that have joined us this afternoon. Looking forward to your questions, looking forward to providing you with as much information as possible regarding the program itself. I think before we start, it would be good to hear that section and just mention the place that you are joining us from this afternoon. Okay, looking forward to that. Okay, we have somebody joining us from Sweden. Welcome. Anybody else? We have Chomba joining us from Lusaka. Welcome, Chomba. It's good to hear that we have representation from Lusaka. We have Chingola in the room. We have Solwezi. We have Lusaka. We have Ndola. We have so many people from across Zambia. Okay, we have somebody from Kitwe CBU representing. Nice. We have Kawe as well. Good to hear from Kawe. Any other places? We have Phoebe Musonda joining us from Lusaka as well. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to our info session. Okay, great to hear that we have quite a number of people from across Zambia as well as outside of Zambia joining us this afternoon. So with that said, we will get straight into it. Welcome once again to the 5th edition of the Women in Tech Zambia, formerly known as the Standard Chartered Women in Tech program. My name is Mulema Kusemwa, and I'm the Entrepreneurship Associate here at BongoHive, and I will be your moderator for today's information session. So just a few things to note, even as we carry out our session today for an hour. Some of the activities or some of the things that we will get to delve into about the program, giving you more information about the program itself, what to expect, what's it about, how is the program structured, so delve into that. And then we'll also run you through how exactly you could apply for the program itself. So what are some of the questions you could expect? What are some of the things that you should do to ensure that you have a standout application? And then we'll also hear from one of our program alumni. So just so that you can confirm that the information that we'll be sharing here from BongoHive isn't just us tooting our own horn, but we'll have somebody speak towards their experience in the program. So that will also be a segment. And then from there, we'll also open the floor to our Q&A segment. So everybody on the call, as well as anybody joining us live on Facebook, on YouTube, will be welcome to raise their questions, and then we'll be able to address them as a BongoHive team. I am joined by my colleagues, Mariah, as well as Eliezer. So you will see them commenting or answering some of your questions, as well as on our social media platforms. At this point, I will hand over to Momo Murila, who is our manager here at BongoHive for strategic projects and enterprise development, for some opening remarks. Over to you, Momo.
All right, thank you, Mulema. I'm a bit sad that you didn't mention me as one of your colleagues, but it's okay. It's all right. All right, good afternoon, everyone. I'm really excited to be on this call, to be launching the 5th cohort of the Women in Tech program. And I'm also really glad to see a number of you on this call, and a number of you that have already started your applications and also completed your applications. So this session is designed to give you everything you need to confidently apply for the Women in Tech program, and to help you see why a program like this is really important for women, but also in Zambia. And the reality is that women are still underrepresented in tech and in business, globally, and also women make over 50% of the population. However, only about 10% receive support in terms of mentorship, capital, and partnership and just any other support that, you know, businesses are required to receive to thrive and grow. And this is not for a lack of talent, because we have seen that women are very talented. Women are running businesses here in Zambia. It's really just a lack of access, right? And that's exactly why we've been running this program for the past 4 years. And over the past 4 years, we've had about 42 women that have completed our program, our 3-month training and mentorship journey. 21 women have received the $10,000 in funding to scale their businesses. And over 120 women have gone through our boot camp to sharpen how they communicate their ideas and their business. So this new cohort comes with exciting changes, and you'll see and you'll hear more about that as Mulema takes you through the presentation. However, I would like to highlight a few of those new and exciting things. One is we're putting a stronger emphasis on sustainability. We are and alignment with SDGs and inclusivity as well, to make sure that we reach a lot more women in tech and women in business. And the program is also not just focusing on skills and building your capacity, but we're focusing a lot more on building partnerships that the successful applicants can carry forward even after the program. And I think that's very important for us, that you don't feel left alone or abandoned, you know, after the program and after receiving such a lot of support and intensive support throughout the program. So today is about helping you understand the process. So make sure that you ask as many questions as you can. There's still a number of people that have started the application and haven't completed them. So just make sure that you ask your questions. If you don't understand, you know, certain questions that are on the application form, this is your chance to ask. You'll get everything you need in this session to apply successfully for the program. And you have everything that you need also on the program website as well. So we need to make sure that we go through this program successfully. So before I hand over the floor to Mulemwa, I'd like to just give a few mentions. So the program is funded by Standard Chartered Bank, Standard Chartered Foundation, through Standard Chartered Bank. And I'd like to really thank them for their continued trust in the work that we do here at BongoHive. And the program is also this year, and then for the next 3 years at least, is supported by Village Capital, who's been a longtime partner of BongoHive. So we're excited to be working alongside them for the program. And obviously, BongoHive and the team, so part of the team that you see here in our larger team, we're the ones implementing the program, and we have done so for the past 4 years. And with that, I'd like to pass the floor back to Mulemwa, and thank you. And all the best to the applicants.
All right, thank you, Momo. Momo is my other colleague. I forgot to mention her earlier, but yeah, she's also part of the team. So remember to type your questions in the chat in case you have questions that you want to have addressed, so that you don't forget them. Ensure that you type them in the chat, and then during the Q&A segment, ensure that you raise your hand if there are any other questions that you might have after the presentation, so that we could provide a response to that as well. Okay, with that said, and with the opening remarks that have been given, I will now get into more about the program itself. So the program is structured into 4 phases. So we have the recruitment and selection phase, we have the acceleration phase, we have the award ceremony, and then we have the post-program support. So it's a very comprehensive program, I must mention. Even during the recruitment and selection phase itself, it goes beyond just us selecting the top 20. After that, we have to narrow down the list further. So only 10 people will get to move on to the next phase of the program. And during that phase of the program, we have a lot of activities, a lot of resources that will be provided to the successful 10 women that proceed to the acceleration phase of the program. The program then culminates into an event known as Demo Day or Award Ceremony, where the top 10 participants get to pitch in front of a panel of judges, as well as different stakeholders and investors. We have a partnership with ZBAN, so angel investors from ZBAN will also be present during that particular session, and you get to pitch. And then 5 of the ladies will walk away with $10,000 in seed funding that will go towards helping them scale and build their tech initiatives. And then beyond that, we just don't end on giving you the funding. The funding is given in a phased approach, and we will hold your hand while helping you implement that tech or innovation that you plan to grow and scale. So post-program support will follow after the demo day. So you have coaching every week aimed at helping you be accountable for the things that you said that you're working on, as well as ensuring that we provide you with all the resources or the networks that you need to actually grow your business. And this support is not only to the top 5 winners, so even those that don't walk away with the 10,000 seed funding will also be provided with a final coaching session where we'll get to help them come up with a plan on how they can then grow and scale their business beyond the program. So a lot of support is provided to all the entrepreneurs. Some of the key activities and the key dates, as mentioned, applications opened on the 28th. So applications will run up until the 28th of May. So if you're considering applying for the program, I strongly encourage you to complete your applications before the 28th, as late applications will not be accepted. And then after that, the team will then work towards shortlisting 20 participants that will go into a boot camp. So shortlisting will run up until the 17th of July, and then we'll have a boot camp. An announcement will be made on our social media platforms. For those of you wondering how you know whether you've been selected or not, an announcement will be made on our social media platforms where we'll beam all the businesses that have made it to the next phase of the program. And then you'll also receive an email informing you of you attending the virtual online bootcamp sessions. So I'm sure you're wondering what these bootcamp sessions are like. Very intensive. We have a lineup of experts from BongoHive as well as with our program partners, and we'll help you refine your business models. We'll help you think around how to pitch. We'll help you think around your technology. Even before you pitch, you do your first pitch in front of a panel of judges before we could then shortlist the top 10 that will go into the acceleration phase. So you really have to be dedicated, you really have to be committed, you really have to do the assignments if you are going to make the most out of this program. So if you know that and you are sure that this is something that you're willing to sign up for and commit to rather, then this is the program for you. So after the bootcamp pitching is done, we'll have another online announcement for the top 10 participants who will then be running through the program. I must mention that participating in the Women in Tech Zambia program comes with a lot of visibility. So there'll be a lot of radio appearances, there'll be a lot of social media posts that will be done about you. We have a designated website where we get to showcase and spotlight some of the startup founders and the work that they're doing. So that's a perk of also being part of the program. Beyond the online sessions that you will then get to take part in during the acceleration phase, there'll be a lot of in-person activities as well that are lined up. So we have a CSR event where you then get to give back to the community based on some of the learnings that you've picked up. Last year we had the ladies collaborate with an organization known as NowSpa, where they got to share some of their insights around taking up careers as entrepreneurs in technology. So the young girls are very excited, and some of them are also considering taking up this other different career path from the conventional. No, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a banker. People are now also seeing entrepreneurship as a career that they can take up beyond their education. So that was exciting. We also have entrepreneurs in residence sessions. So these are in-person events. As mentioned by Momo earlier, we have a lot of emphasis on collaborations and partnerships in the program, especially this year. So we have a lot of deliberate in-person sessions aimed at helping create those synergies with different partners, different stakeholders, even among the startup founders themselves. Something that we noted last year was that, collaboration goes beyond us connecting you to just an investor. Sometimes what you need to grow your business is a fellow entrepreneur that you could then partner with to create products and services that could go beyond your current offering. So a lot of in-person activities are lined up in addition to the online sessions that we will have. So every week you have an online session on different topics. Investment readiness is also a key focus area for us in the next 3 years. So we'll have a lot of sessions tailored towards helping you be investment ready, so that even as you reach out to different funding partners, it could be angel investors, it could be VC firms, you will have all the documentation, you have all the groundwork that you need to do to be able to raise additional funding to scale your business beyond Zambia. So that's another component of the program. And then, as mentioned, post-incubation, post-acceleration support. So after demo day, after the winners are announced, we won't just leave you with the money just like that. We'll actually support you in ensuring that the technology that you're trying to build and develop is actually developed, and that we connect you to the right partners to help you enter any other markets that you are considering entering, and everything else that is aimed at ensuring that you actually scale your business. So it's a very, very comprehensive program. If you know that you are a very busy person and wouldn't be able to commit to this level of engagement, you might want to think it through, because at the end of the day, this program is meant for people that are hungry for knowledge and for people that are willing to actually apply the knowledge that they'll gain from this particular program. So I hope that provides context as to what the program is about and some of the things that you should expect. And then we will now move on to who should apply. So who is eligible for this particular program? So some of the startups that we're looking for need to be registered, first of all, with PACRA. So you should be a legally registered business. For at least 3 months, your business should have been registered if you're fairly new. And then you have to be a for-profit business. So this acceleration program is for for-profit businesses and not non-profit businesses. So take note of that as well. You have to be headquartered and operational in Zambia, and your business also has to be revenue generating. So you have to have been making money, at least under 100,000 US dollars. So this number isn't to scare you, but this is just the threshold that we're looking for the kind of startups that would benefit the most from this program. And then if you have already raised funding, you have to have raised at less than 500,000 US dollars in equity. So for those startups that have already gone on and raised funding, so we're looking for startups that are within this threshold. And then it's also worth noting that this particular program is for already established businesses and not founders that have startup ideas. So you have to have had a minimum viable product and proven traction. So it could be users, it could be partnerships that you already have, it could be revenue. You have to have a minimum viable product. And then considering the nature of the program, this is a program for women-led startups and businesses. So if one of your founders has to be a female founder, and they should have equal or majority ownership in the business. And then you have to be based in Zambia. And also, we have an age range for this particular program. So you have to be within the age range of 18 to 35 years old if you're considering applying for the Women in Tech program Zambia. And then also a heavy component of this product is that your business has to be tech-based or tech-enabled and be able to address one of those key thematic areas that we are focusing on this year. So please ensure that even before you start applying, you log onto our website, clearly understand the eligibility criteria, clearly understand what the thematic areas are, and try to identify whether your business fits into those key thematic areas that we're focusing on. Because as highlighted by Momo, one thing that we are really focusing on going forward is aligning ourselves with the Sustainable Development Goals. So even the businesses that apply have to be in line with those Sustainable Development Goals that we're focusing on this year. Okay, so now moving on to our thematic areas. We have got quite a number of questions from people regarding, does my business qualify? Does it fall under this? Does it fall under that? So just for context, prior to the start of the program, we carried out some research and just wanted to understand what are some of those most pressing areas that need to be addressed, or what opportunities present themselves, and what areas should we be focusing on for the startups that we want in this program. And some of the key areas that were identified are the ones that are now run us through, so that you could have context even as you apply to see whether you fall under any of those, because these are the ones we'll be focusing on for this particular cohort. So the first one is health technology. So we're looking for startups within the health technology space, those that are using technology to overcome barriers and improve healthcare equity in Zambia. As we may all be aware, access to quality health in Zambia still remains a challenge. So I'm looking for startup founders that have identified that opportunity and addressing that particular problem. So it could be that maybe you have a pharmacy and now you are or have created an online platform that allows people to buy some of the medical medication that they need through an online platform. That also qualifies under someone who is overcoming this barrier and improving healthcare quality. It could be that you have created a platform that makes it easy for people to book appointments at their hospitals as opposed to waiting in line for hours and hours. You book your appointment in advance, you know what time you have to go to the hospital and go there whenever when your appointment is scheduled for. So there's so many opportunities here that fall under health technology, and we hope that we'll have quite a number that fit this and are solving this problem, because a lot needs to be done to improve quality healthcare, and an economy needs people that are well and fit in order to thrive. So we hope we will have startup founders that are actually meeting this problem and solving the problem for citizens. Next up, we have education technology. Education is also key for any economy to thrive. You need to have skilled labor, both in the rural and the urban areas. So we're looking for startups that are solving this problem, startups that are working towards improving quality education. So how are you doing this? Have you created a platform that maybe allows people to attend online sessions? Maybe it could be a tutoring platform for people that need tuitions and additional services and are able to do that in the comfort of their homes. It could be that you have created a platform where people can find past papers for any courses that they need. And how are you also including people in rural areas? How can people access those services? So looking for businesses that are working towards improving access to quality education and bridging some of the educational gaps that have been identified in Zambia. We have a founder that was part of the cohort 4 of the Women in Tech program Zambia that falls under the EdTech space. They're doing quite a bit and ensuring that students and teachers are able to assess how well students are performing in class and tailor their content to ensuring that the students are actually improving and doing what they need to do to get those good grades and access that quality education. So the opportunities are very, very vast, and we hope that we will have a lot of people take up and solve this problem and fill out that gap. So she will mention more about the work that she's doing and how her startup has grown post the program, and which is super exciting to hear that they've grown to other markets and are doing phenomenal work in their space. So that's one area that you could also think around. If your business falls under this, then definitely apply for it as well. We also have financial technology. So this one is about designing and implementing inclusive fintech services to enhance financial literacy, improve access to credit, provide tools for savings and investment, and foster that business growth and economic empowerment for Zambian entrepreneurs. So it could be that maybe you have a traditional business, maybe you help people provide access to credit for people, but then now you're incorporating this tech component that makes it easy for people to access that credit that you are providing. Or is it that you've created a savings platform for entrepreneurs to save their money? There are so many countless opportunities that fall under this one. It could be that you have an investment platform. So people, as opposed to the traditional going to the stock market and trying to buy bonds in order to grow your money, maybe you created a peer-to-peer lending platform that allows ordinary Zambian to be able to invest that money and let it grow, and then gives access to entrepreneurs that are looking to grow money. So there's so many vast opportunities that you could make use of, and we hope to see more businesses thrive and grow within this space, because funding has been a major gap for entrepreneurs in the country, and we hope we'll have more people take on this opportunity and capitalize on it. So again, the opportunities under this one are countless. So think around whether your business falls under this as well. And then the next one that we are also focusing on is artificial intelligence and emerging technologies, so empowering entrepreneurs. So for this one, we're looking for startup founders that are harnessing AI and implementing technologies to help entrepreneurs overcome these barriers, improve business efficiency, and foster inclusivity within the digital economy. So it could be that you have created a chatbot that you're then selling out to other entrepreneurs that enables them to talk to their customers without them having to always pick up the phone. You've created that chatbot that allows them to do that. Or it could be that you've created an AI tool that allows entrepreneurs to track their inventory. There's so many opportunities that fall under this one, and we hope to see more businesses take up this space and solve this problem and take advantage of the opportunity that AI has created for entrepreneurs. So if you fall under this as well, you're more than welcome to apply, and we look forward to reviewing your application. And then the other one that we have is access to technology. So another gap that has been identified is that there's a market that's been underserved. So in as much as we create products, in as much as we are going digital, we are still not doing much to harness AI and assistive technologies to create solutions that enhance mobility, communication, and information access for persons with disabilities. So are you creating solutions now that are then also serving this market? It could be in the solutions that you already have, you're now incorporating this tech component that then also serves persons with disabilities. So we're looking for those innovations. As we mentioned earlier, we're looking to be more inclusive going forward. So it would be great to hear from and to see startup founders that are serving this untapped market and making the most out of this opportunity. So we have so many different thematic areas to pick from, and we look forward to seeing what comes out of the applications, and we look forward to seeing you growing and scaling your tech innovations through the program itself. So at this point, we will then move on to how to apply. But before I move on, I'll ask my colleagues if there's anything they would like to add on under the thematic areas, even before we go into how to apply. No more, Ellie, anything like to add on? Before I move on?
No, I think we're good for now.
Okay. Okay, so now we will move on to how to apply. So the application form to the program is on our website. So visit our website, which is www.womenintech.co.zm. And once you click on our website, you have more information about the program itself, some of the benefits of applying in the program. The eligibility criteria is also there. You also gain access to the different alumni that have gone through the program and some of the testimonials that have come out of that. And then you will also be directed to the application form itself. So the application form sits on VC4A. Once you click on the link, you'll be prompted to create an account. And once you create an account, you will then have access to different questions that you'll be required to answer. The questions are categorized into your personal details. So you enter your details, information about yourself, put your active email address as well as your phone number so that it's easier to reach out to you. We then get to hear about your company itself. So what problem are you solving? We also like to confirm that you're actually the founder and the majority shareholder in your business. So you have to attach your background documents. So attach your background documents as proof that you're actually a registered business or incorporated business. And then you also be required to submit your PACA printout that shows your shareholding structure as proof that you're actually the majority shareholder of the business. The application form also asks you about whether the solution that you're trying to address or the solution that you're currently addressing. So you pick the thematic area that your business falls in, clearly and concisely explain how exactly you're solving that problem. We'd also like to hear a lot more about your business. So this is the part where you get to showcase that you actually know and understand your business. So tell us about your distribution channels, tell us about the revenue, tell us if you've raised any funding, if you've taken part in any other programs other than this one that you'd like to apply for, and what you've picked out and how you've grown even after applying for that particular program. Also like to hear about your team. So who's in your team? Do you have any full-time founders and full-time employees? Do you have any part-time employees? And as well as information about your competitive advantage, what makes you unique from other players in the market that are solving the same problem that you're solving. So all that information is vital information for us. We'd also like to know about what your growth plans are for your business. So what are you projecting in the next 1 year? What are you projecting in the next 2 years? And what are some of your plans for your business in the coming years? So all that information is vital to assess whether or not you'd be a good fit for the program. So ensure that your answers are well thought out and that you're not just writing for the sake of writing. And then I also must mention, I couldn't explain an exhaustive list of startups that qualify to be part of the program. But if you're unsure of whether you still fall under any of those categories, you could, easily go use some of these AI tools. So search for ChatGPT or Gemini, ask it, tell it about the different categories that the program is offering. Tell it, this is my business, this is what I offer. Do you think I qualify in any of those categories? And that will be able to help you determine whether or not you qualify based on the thematic areas that have been outlined. So the application process is very straightforward and easy, and all you have to do is just ensure that you submit the required documents and that you also attach your document. And then if you already have a demo of your product, attach a video showcasing how your product works or how your solution works. That's very valuable and helpful information, even as the team is assessing your application. So ensure that you provide as much information as possible and be concise in the responses that you give. Okay, I've said quite a bit about the program and what it offers and the benefits, but I'm sure some of you are still wondering whether or not what I'm saying is actually what happens on the ground. So at this point, I'd like to welcome and introduce one of our program alumni. So Zoe took part in the Women in Tech program cohort 4, which was last year, and she was one of the top 6. At this point, I'll hand over to her just to briefly share with us her experience in the program and the progress that she's made even after the program itself has finished. So over to you, Zoe.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so sorry I'm unable to switch on my video because my network is unstable where I am. How are you? Not too sure if you can hear me. Can you hear me, Mulemwa?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that. Hi, everyone. How are you? I hope you are well. I'm sure for you to be here is because you're trying to grow your business. I'm going to introduce myself. As you can see on the screen, my name's Spiwe Soe Musaka, and I'm one of the co-founders of Colosso. A brief introduction about Colosso is that we are a digital personalized assessment tool used in primary and secondary schools. We give teachers real-time data to help focus on time and effort to help the students. How Colosso works is that it's a 2 minutes game, 10-question quiz linked to the school curriculum and the teaching plan that helps monitor performance, progress, and participation of a student. And all this information is linked back to the parents. So a brief history on the experience we had with Standard Chartered Women in Tech. First of all, I can imagine how nerve-wracking it is for anyone who's looking at maybe if they haven't yet seen the application and it looks like it's a lot of information. The beauty about life these days is that information is available online, and if you don't know what a word means, you can Google the word. I guess my advice would be do as much research as you can do before you enter the question so that you enter them correctly. So we started with our application process. Lucky for us, we were picked as a company that qualified, and during that experience, I would say we learned so much, and there was a lot we learned. We were an early stage business, and we had mentorship, we had support, and the program helped us from everything, knowing everything from scratch. Actually, we had information or mentors that guided us through the process, and lucky for us, we became one of the top 6 winners of the program. That was the 4th cohort. So the highlights in our journey, starting with, is that we were one of the winners, which we are glad we were. And as I mentioned earlier, the mentorship for us was very important. They asked us questions that we did not think about, and we had to pivot. I think the most time we pivoted for our business was during the program, because then we realized we had to go back and change some of the things that we thought or might have even assumed. What we thought our main market wasn't what it was, and you could see how our business evolved through the whole program. As the lady in operations, meaning I'm at the background of doing the work. For me, it was big to learn the confidence side of things. I wasn't the first person or the first volunteer in the group to say I'm gonna pitch or I'm gonna speak in front of a crowd or even in a meeting like this one. But I can proudly tell you that after the program, this a lot has changed, and there's a big difference in how we carry ourselves. And when we won the funds, what the funds helped us build was a web version. So if you do go on Play Store or iOS, you will find out that you can download Colosso as an app on your phone, tablet. But then the challenge we realized as we were going through growing our business was that our target was schools, and most schools do not have phones in their schools, and we realized they have an IT department. Instead of giving up, we decided to make a plan and apply, and lucky for us, the funds helped us create the web version. So now schools have access to the web version, and all the IT departments can use it through their laptops or through their desktops. um yeah, and currently we have 25 schools, both here in Zambia and in South Africa. And our user base is growing every day. I mean, we literally had a demo this morning. Selling Colosso doesn't stop. Yeah, and just adding to that, I would say, why would you choose why would you choose to join, and why tech? I would say that the world has evolved and everything is changing, and we should change with it. And that is my advice to everyone. The world is moving at a very faster pace, and that can only happen if you're in tech. That would be my advice about why you should join. And the lessons that we've learned going forward would be that what you think your business is when you're starting might not be what it will be when it grows. And you should be very open minded to change. Don't be rigid to your belief as a business. Don't be rigid to say, because what I want is to sell a blue skirt, it's only a blue skirt that I want to sell. No, as a founder, or as a co-founder, my advice to all of you is that you should. Oh gosh.
I can still hear you, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Hi, sorry. Okay, I think we seemed to have lost Zoe. She might be having challenges with her internet connectivity, but yeah. Thank you, Zoe, for sharing your insights. So as mentioned, you should be willing and open for to change. And as a startup founder, feedback is always necessary, always hearing from your customers, always pivoting when necessary. That's what makes you build a scalable and impactful business. So those are some of the highlights of participating in the Women in Tech program. It goes beyond the training and the sessions and the mentorship. You actually get to apply these things, and you actually get to be connected to industry experts that help you scale your business to the next level. And I think a key highlight of the program itself is the post-program support, because unlike other programs that just give you the funding and it ends there, we actually hold your hand while you're implementing this and ensuring that you're actually successful in the work that you're doing, which is something that I commend for anybody that's looking for growth beyond just money, but also putting into practice everything that you've been taught. So that's about the Women in Tech program. At this point, I'm pretty sure we have some people that have questions. So I'll open the floor to questions, and I'll also ask the team to be on standby to be able to answer any of the questions that may come up. So let me just head over to the chat to see some of the questions that we have. So we have a question from the profile. And the profile is asking, where are you back? Okay. So Lupupa is asking, Lupupa says, the acceleration phase will be all days, be in person, or some will be virtual. If some will be virtual, which days will be in person and which ones will be virtual? Okay, so the acceleration phase, all the training sessions are virtual, but we have a series of in-person events that will be taking place every month. So the acceleration phase is 3 months, and then in those 3 months, embedded in them are some physical events. So that's something to also take note of. Yeah. And then the exact date is usually on a Monday, but it depends also on the teams, on the participants' preferred availability date for the session. So that's that also regarding the acceleration phase.
Mulema, can I just quickly jump in on the date? So remember at the beginning, I talked about how it was important for us right now not to just focus on the skills that you're getting during the program, but there's an emphasis on partnerships and the reason, and also technology and what you can do with it and everything. So I think the physical sessions are also quite important. That's where you'll be meeting investors. That's where you'll be meeting potential partners and things like that. So as much as most of the program where you're learning the skills and your mentorship and your coaching is virtual, the physical sessions are actually really important. So the reason why we keep it virtual is because the program is not just focused on people based in Lusaka, but we want to extend this program to everybody around Zambia. We've had people come from Northern Province, for example, in past cohorts, and we do understand having them come here or stay here for 3 months just for the program is not feasible. So remember, we're focusing on inclusivity, making sure everybody can be, can participate in the program. So it's really important as well to ensure that you are available for the virtual and also for the physical sessions. So I thought I'd add that as well. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that addition. We have a question from Wimba, who's asking if the program is student friendly and how best one can participate as a student, especially without a business, but is yet to start one in the long run. Okay, as mentioned, so the age criteria for the program is 18 to 35. So as long as you fit within this age bracket, you are more than welcome to apply for the program. However, it's worth noting that for this particular program, the Women in Tech Zambia, it's a program specifically for already established businesses. So you already have a business. It could be your business is tech-based or tech-enabled and has already been running in the market, has some users, has customers that are currently paying for your service. This program is for you. But if you just have an idea, I would advise you to try and apply maybe next year. Maybe by then, your idea would have already been a business and would have gained some level of traction. I hope that answers your question. There's a question from Susanna. So Susanna says, so to be clear, the digital solution that we use to apply must be income generating. Is there context to this one? Okay, I think there's another question that you posted, but yes, but to answer your question, yes. The business that you are applying with must be income generating. For some people, it could be that you have a traditional business and have a tech component that you that are looking to incorporate. And like you have a business that's already running, that's already generating income and revenue from your customers, that you have users, but then you're looking to incorporate a tech component now that will then be able to scale your business further. So in that case, you still qualify to participate in the program. Okay, do you have any other questions?
Mulema, would you like me to, I think, let me help you read out the questions as they're coming in fast and hot, and then you can focus on answering. So I'll go back to some of the first questions we had. So we've got one here from Chomba Mumba who says, if one makes it to the acceleration stage, can they manage to participate in the necessary activities while holding a full-time job?
Okay, so yes, we've had quite a number of ladies that have participated prior that had full-time jobs, but were still able to participate. And the beauty about some of our training sessions is that we usually have them in the evening. So last year we had our trainings every Monday. So every Monday for the next three months, you meet for your online training, and then you have an assignment that's posted in your classroom. In case you missed anything during the session, maybe you had some internet connectivity issues, yes, you're able to catch up because the session recording is shared, but you're required to submit your assignment on time. So as long as you're able to manage your time well, and as long as you are very dedicated to participate, and you could manage both a full-time job and this, because we've seen in the past that we've had ladies that have been able to do that.
Yeah. And just to add to that as well, so for you to qualify to win to be awarded the $10,000, the focus is not just on how you're pitching at Demo Day. So we're going to look at your participation. So we require at least 85% participation in the program for you to qualify. So if you miss most of the sessions or the learnings, the physical events and everything, and then you just come and pitch at Demo Day and feel like you would, make it, no matter how great your business is, and even if you make it to the top 5, we will consider your participation in the program, and that could cost you actually being awarded the 10,000. So just make sure that you're able to balance both. And that's one of the reasons why we also have the sessions after hours and rather than during working time. So we do ensure that we do still make time and space for women to participate. The next question here is from Ellen Hamdudu. Can one that participated in any of the previous cohorts participate? So I will maybe answer this one quickly because I know, Ellen, I do remember you from the last cohort, and you can participate. So because you didn't make it if you didn't make it past the boot camp, you're still able to apply and get into the program. However, if you made it in the program and you took part in the 3-month training and everything, then no, you don't qualify. But if you didn't make it past the boot camp, then you still qualify. So I'd encourage you to qualify. I'd encourage you to apply. And back to you, Mulemwa. This is another question. Hello, I would like for more information about the last thematic area. So, okay, so is it correct to conclude that our innovation that helps disabled people should be income generating and currently being used? So that's from Susanna Chulu.
Okay, correct. But
Yes.
As mentioned earlier, so your business has to have been making traction. Is this your primary area of focus, or maybe do you have other avenues that you're also using to make money? Because what we are focusing on, as mentioned, is that your business should be a profit-making business and not just an NGO. So if you're revenue generating on one other area, then you still qualify to participate.
Yeah. And revenue doesn't mean profit. So you could be making revenue, but not profit. So make sure you also understand those. As Zoe said, make sure you understand these terms. You have Google, you have ChatGPT to make sure you understand, and you can also send us emails to ask us these questions if you're not clear on that. So you must be revenue generating, but not necessarily profit making. You don't necessarily need to be making profit. Yeah. Okay, so next question is from Mulenga Chimba, and the question is, with regard to the application form responses, are there any word or character limits?
Okay, so once you head over to the application form itself on BC4A, as you are typing down your responses, you will be prompted on whether you've exceeded the word limit or whether you're within the word limit. And then some questions require you to just type numbers, and some questions require you to actually type words. So that will be guided, that you will be guided as you begin your application process within the application form itself.
This one, the next question is from Facebook and from Chimaza Malombola. What is the age limit for this program?
Okay, so the program is for founders that are within 18 to 35 years. So the age limit is 35.
Okay, and from Elisha Alexander II, how can I be part of BongoHive community as an AI enthusiast? So I think I will ask Elisha to direct this question straight to BongoHive. If you do go on our website, we've got a chat bot. You can also send us an email and we can get to talking right now. Elisha, we're going to focus on the Women in Tech program. But thank you that you're excited and you want to join the BongoHive community. The next question is from Numa. And it goes, is there anyone from the foundation I can contact directly? Okay, I think I'll take this one as well. So BongoHive is implementing the program on behalf of the foundation, on behalf of Standard Chartered. So if you've got any questions pertaining to the program, feel free to direct them to us. And you can also let us know, maybe it would be helpful if you could send an email to us as well to better understand what your request is, and we can help from there. And the next question is from Lupumpu. The acceleration phase will all the days, will all the days be in person or some virtual? I think that one we handled. So I'll go down to, let's see. Yeah, let's go to Miriam Bader. Okay, so I'm not a Zambian citizen, but my business is operating in Zambia, empowering STEM and AI classes to the future generations. Am I eligible to apply?
Okay, so in order for you to be eligible to apply, you have to be Zambian first of all, and your business has to be based in Zambia. So if you don't meet that criteria, then
yeah. So Mariam, if you do have a Zambian co-founder who's a female and has at least 50% shares in your business, then you could use that avenue, but you must. We're here to support Zambian founders and nationals. Yeah. Next question is from Wila, and will the recording be made available?
Okay, so in case you'd like to catch up, the session is currently being recorded live on our social media, so that's Facebook and YouTube. So you could always go back there and you will find the recording.
Okay, and from Susanna Chulu, I have a traditional business that has been running. I'm in the process of adding a tech aspect to it. Must the tech aspect that I add be income generating? Example, an app, or is it enough that my business itself is already income generating?
Okay, as long as your business, first of all, is within the thematic areas that were mentioned, and you clearly highlight how you plan on incorporating that tech component, and if it's also in line with our thematic areas, then you do qualify.
All right. Next question is from Hilda. Our company is called Green Fire Innovation Limited. We produce eco-friendly charcoal briquettes, and we are in the process of leveraging AI systems into our operations. Are we still eligible even though our business is more aligned with green tech?
Okay, I will throw it back to the challenge statement that we have. So understanding, even if you say AI, is this in line with what we're trying to achieve through the thematic area that was highlighted? So you have to go back to that and check and counter check that you're actually addressing the challenge statement that we are trying to solve through your business.
Okay. So from Komiwe Piri, where do we apply from?
Okay, so you have to search for Women in Tech Zambia Accelerator Program on Google, or you could type the link www.womenintech.co.za, and then you'll be directed to our program website, and there you will find an application button that you then click on, and you'll be directed to our application platform, which is on VC4A.
Okay. Our next question is from Rachel Sakala. Kindly highlight more on thematic area number 5. So Rachel, maybe you could be a bit more specific with your question. But I will allow Mulemo, maybe there's a way you would like to expand on it. Otherwise, Rachel, if you do have a chance, please just be a bit more specific. What exactly would you like for us to highlight? What exactly is not clear? What would you like to know? Okay. All right, I will move on. There's another Facebook question. Can a group of young people in a rural area send in a concept for funding even if they are not registered?
So your business has to be registered with ACRA in order for you to qualify to be part of this program.
Mm-hmm. And then from Lupumpo again, will you send an email for a business to know whether their application has pulled through or not?
Yes, so once the team is done with reviewing your applications, as highlighted on the program dates, let me just go back to that slide. So you'll receive an email informing you whether your application has been successful or not by the 17th of June. So do look out for that. And then in addition to that, we also post the top 20 that proceed to the bootcamp on our different social media platforms. So you will have that information once the team is done with the applications.
I think those are all the questions we have in the chat. Feel free to send more questions. How are we doing on time?
Okay, we'll be winding down now. But just to answer the question that I think Miriam had, the last question.
The
I'm not sure whether you missed this segment.
thematic number 5. So I think that was the last one, or maybe it's the last one, the one with inclusive. Was it the one on disabilities? Yes. Okay.
Okay. Okay, so for this one, if you joined the session earlier, Momo did emphasize that one thing that we are focusing on in the next 3 years for the program is inclusivity. And I also mentioned that there's been a gap in the market when it comes to serving people with disabilities. So I'm looking for businesses that have identified this gap and capitalizing on this opportunity that they've identified, and they're harnessing AI or any other assistive technologies to create solutions that enhance mobility, communication, and information access for persons with disabilities. I also added that it could be that you have an already existing platform or business and are looking towards now improving on it and ensuring that it's accessible to all, and that you are now looking towards incorporating a tech component that also caters to the persons with disabilities. So if that's what your business is currently doing, or if you have plans to incorporate such a tech component that also caters to persons with disabilities, then you also qualify to apply under this particular thematic area. I hope that answers your question.
Malema, there's another question that came through Facebook. So from Simate, here it goes. I noticed there is a section in the application where you are required to insert the shareholder document. In case where your business is registered under the business name and no shareholder, are you still eligible?
Okay. You are eligible to apply provided that you still attach that document that showcases that you're actually the person that the business is registered under. So if that's the case, then you could attach that document as proof that you are the owner or the founder of that particular business.
Okay, so I think while we wait for more questions, I think those are all the questions I have in the chat. And Mariah, in case you're bringing in more questions from Facebook, I'd like to just touch on one thing. So in the past cohorts, we have seen situations where someone will apply in the program, and maybe it's a couple, and the husband maybe, has the business, and then this couple applies into the program and makes it seem as if it is the wife or the female that owns the business. And we've also had situations where maybe a business wasn't owned by a woman, and maybe the woman didn't also have 50% share in the business. And just for the purpose of the program, they'll run to PACRA, change names and ownership at PACRA just for the purpose of the business. So we just want to let you know that we see you, and we can tell when someone doesn't own a business. If you can't answer any questions about the business, or you're not confident about the business, you don't know the numbers and all these things, we can really tell when the business doesn't belong to you. So there's a reason, as I mentioned, I shared some stats in the beginning. There's a reason why this program is just for women, and we would like to keep it that way. So if there is a couple out there, or there's a business that is owned by male founders and they don't currently have women founders, or women that own majority or 50% stake in their business, you're not eligible to apply. So we will be looking through your documents. We will be asking you the necessary questions to make sure that you are actually a founder in the business. Yeah, and we also won't be allowing men or males to participate in the program actively. Even if you have a co-founder that's male, you will be able to obviously benefit from the program, but the person that needs to be active in the program needs to be your female co-founder. So I just thought I would add that, because you've seen that situation more than once in the program in the past.
Yeah. Thank you for highlighting that. And then also, it's also worth noting that the program is meant for founders. So if you know that you are very busy and you're not able to attend sessions and not able to fully participate in the program, I would advise you to really think it through before you apply, because the last thing you want is to give a person that's not committed an opportunity when it could have been given to someone else who would have benefited from it more. So it's not about you just getting in and sending your sales representative to participate in the sessions. It's about the founder, the person that actually makes the decisions, participating in the program and actually fully harnessing the opportunities that come with the program itself. So that's something that you should also note, even as you take that bold step and decide to apply for the program. You really need to be hungry for this. Beyond the money, there's a whole lot that you gain from the program itself. Because we've seen founders that didn't even win the program, but are still doing phenomenal work because they chose to apply themselves in the work and everything that they gathered from the program, the networks, the opportunities, and are now growing and thriving, even in their businesses. So thank you to everybody that has attended the session, and I hope all your questions have been addressed. If you still have other questions that may not have been addressed in the call, feel free to reach out to us. If you go to our email, if you go to our website, we have our email address there. You could reach out to us, or you could reach out to entrepreneurship@bongohive.co.zm, and then we'll be able to address any other questions that you might have regarding the program. At this point, I will just wrap up, and I'd like to thank our panelists. So thank you to Momo, thank you to Zoe, as well as the rest of the BongoHive team for being part of the call and for providing their valuable insights during the session itself. And to everybody that has joined, we hope that all your questions have been addressed, and we look forward to receiving your applications. And a reminder to thoroughly read through the criteria as well as the thematic areas, even as you apply, so that you can put your best foot forward, even as you submit your final applications. All the best in your applications, and we will see you in the next phase of the program if you are successful in your application.